guys, welcome to Coco Creates. This is a Flosstube channel and I'm Zoe. I'm Kitty Coco's mama, so she's not up here again, so she might join us soon, fingers crossed. So I thought I would drop in and do a quick update. I know this is quite quick compared to my old video, which I only posted like 10 days ago. So yeah, hopefully this is about the schedule that I'll be keeping. I will apologise for my fringe. I cut it very fast and I seem to have cut it a bit wonky. I will neaten it up before my next video, but I've just noticed it sort of goes nyum. So I will try and, you know, neaten it up before I do the video again. So I'm sorry. But yes, so I thought I'd do a quick update. So I have been working on my SALs for SALSeptember. And I have 4. So I have 4 that I've done so far. So if you saw my last video, you would have heard that I said I had the spinny wheel, the Tiny Decisions wheel, and I put all my SALs that were ready to be worked on into that, and then I was going to roll it every 3 days. So I was going to switch every 3 days, sort of whether I'd stitched each of those 3 days or not, because if I did it every 3 days of stitching, it would take longer than a month, because I've not been stitching every single day. So I thought I would show you what I've been working on so far. So the first one that I rolled was actually my Main Street. Now I started this in Mania, and I've made quite a few changes to some of the things. So if you want to know what changes I've made, you can pop back and watch my Mania videos. So they were filmed in May or towards the end of May, start of June, so May, June, or pop onto my Instagram, which is I am Zoe Robinson, super imaginative, and I go through them in a bit more detail there. So this is Main Street by a designer. I will have to put their name in because I really can't remember. Sorry, I really should have checked. I really didn't plan any of this. I just sat down and thought, oh, I better update everyone, and dug everything, all the pieces of fabric out, and that was as far as I got. So I will put it in. So sorry, but yeah. So I'd already finished 3 of the houses. So I'd done the florists, the winery, and the boutique, and then yeah, I just started on the cafe. So I managed to do all of this gingham sign at the top, and I was just starting on the birds and the rest of the building. Now if you know this pattern, you will know that I made a mistake on the bottom of this gingham, because there is a I don't know if you can see where I've left holes, maybe not, but there is a supposed to be a swooshy border. Oh, please hold. Okay, so I've had a quick phone call there. So right, but yeah, as I was saying, so there's supposed to be a little like scalloped border at the bottom that goes into the green, and I forgot, and I just stitched all the green gingham all the way along. So I figured what I'll probably do is, instead of unpicking it all, is I'll just sort of back stitch around the V's and it'll be fine there. So yeah, so that's the 4th one. There's 6 in this series. So yeah, there we go. So that was my first SAL that I picked. That was that one. So then the next one that came up was this one. So this is from Lakeside Needlecraft. Yes, Lakeside Needlecraft. Yeah. And it was their woodland SAL that was designed by Doreen Jones. So I think it launched last year. It was last year's SAL. Yes, last year's SAL I bought. So, and I've just started there on the little owl there. So I am changing a couple of, not the actual design, but just the stitching. So I think part of this border was supposed to be done in half stitches, sort of intense stitch, but I'm doing it just with 1 thread instead. So this is on a piece of 36 count from Sew It All. So it's Fabric Flare. So yeah, 36 count that came. It was a kit that came from them. So yeah, so that's a little owl there. So that was that one. So I haven't, as you can see, I've not thingied the, I've not serged the ends of that one yet, so it's a bit scraggy. So I will get round to that at some point. So then my next roll was this one. Now this is by nope, nothing. I'm so bad at this. This is a fantastic fungi sal by a person. I'll put it here. So I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really unprepared. So fantastic fungi sal. Now this is, it's a diamond shape, and she did it in 2 colourways. So she did it in sort of more of a, you know, mushroom coloured colourway. So the mushrooms were sort of browns and greens and reds, you know, more of the colours that some mushrooms are. And then she did sort of this colourway. Now this one was exclusive to her Patreon members. So, and this is all bright colours. So I've done sort of, I started on that one, did these and that one, and then I was just starting on this one here, which is all teals. Now this fabric is Sparkly's fabric. I did mention it in a previous video, but yeah, it's a Sparkly's from 123 Stitch linen, 36 count. Yeah, 36 count. So and what I thought I might do, if I have, actually, you know what, I don't think I'm going to have room. That's a lie. So I don't think I'll have room to do it. There is a border to go on this as well. So I was going to say what I was thinking of doing was stitching both colourways on here, and then finish them back to back. I mean, actually I might still, because I wouldn't need to leave much of a gap in the middle, because I could fold it there and then I wouldn't need to leave much of a gap. So I might do, so if I have enough space, that's the plan. If I do not have the space, then I will just be doing this one and finishing it sort of, you know, as a, it's quite a big ornament, but you know, as a diamond shape. So yes, so that's the fantastic fungi sal. So that's that one. And then the 4th one that I pulled was, or that I spun, was the map project. So the Mysterious Adventure project, sorry. So the map sal by Ink Circles. Now this was a Stitch Your Own Adventure project. So where you used sort of dice, so like D&D dice, to help you decide on what options and elements you wanted to include. So what she'd done is she designed sort of different borders and different options, and you rolled the dice and it would tell you which one to stitch and how big to make certain elements or something and where to put them and that. So so yeah, so I worked on this bottom panel, the bottom half, sorry, bottom panel. So this is the sea, and I was just, I can't even hold this. I need to get one of those boards that you can sort of clip it on, like all you professional people do. So, but yeah, I finished this pirate ship down here. Let me pull the threads out of the way. So yeah, and then the flags are, so she had a set of flags for each number. So I picked the 2 and the 0 for 2020. Whether I'll get it finished in 2020 though is another matter. But you know, we live in hope. And I did these boys. So I changed the colour because I'm sure the boys that we have in our country or in our seas aren't green, because they were green and yellow. And in my brain, the ones near us weren't green and yellow. So I might be making it up, but I changed it to red and yellow. and then the 3 flags. So she designed these flags for every letter of the alphabet. So these ones are Z, O and E for my name. Apart from this bit, I accidentally made this flag too short, so I had the red thread on my needle, so I just added another red line there. So, because I wasn't going to pick out the green and the blue and do that all again. No. So, yeah. So I'd already done the island and the lighthouse, but then I stitched the mermaid. I wasn't 100% keen on the mermaid that she'd picked. So I actually went onto Google and just Googled pixelated pictures of a mermaid, and I found this one, and I just sort of translated the pixels into crosses and changed the colours as I went. So yeah, and then she wasn't on a rock, it was just the mermaid, so I kind of made a rock and added some water underneath. But yeah, so that was my little mermaid. And then I'm gonna stitch, sort of put the words, you know, Mermaid Cove, I think I'm going to stitch around there. So, oh, and then I just started a couple of little whales under here. So yeah, so, oh yeah, and a couple of narwhals fighting there in the middle. So yeah, did that bit too. So the bit I changed on there was the horns. So I wanted the horns to be a bit more spirally. So I actually backstitched in the 3 colours that we used in the narwhals, and I just sort of backstitched, you know, the little, I made it into a spiral shape, the backstitch. So that's what I did. So there we go. So that was my 4th piece. And oh, let's tuck those threads back in. So yeah, and that takes us up to today, which is a Monday. I don't know what date it is, so probably about the 13th-ish. So yeah, so today I am not rolling because I'm cheating, and my Queen of the Deep sal came in the post on the weekend by Autumn Lane Stitchery. So I ordered the fabric and the bead kit from, please hold, from Under the Sea Fabrics. There we go. Is that going to focus? Of course it's not going to focus. My phone never focuses. My phone doesn't even know what focusing is. Under the Sea Fabrics. So she specially dyed this piece for the sal and then put together the bead pack. So they didn't have the threads in with the pack because they hadn't 100% decided on all of the threads yet. So as far as I'm aware, they are all DMC, what they're using. And I had already got this fabric on my frame, so you're not going to be able to see it as its best. But that's not too bad. It's a little sort of bluer, you know, it's a little cooler than that, the colours. And the fabric, it sort of goes into more purples at the bottom and more blues at the top. And looking at the picture of the sal, sort of when you get your first part of the sal, it has kind of a vague outline of the design. And actually on the picture it showed more purple at the bottom of the fabric and more blue at the top. So I'm doing that too. And yeah, and because this came, I thought, well, I have to start this sal. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, I can actually keep up with this sal this year for the next 12 months. So that's going to be my goal. Now what that means is that now I have an extra sal in there. So I do have so I have 10, so I have 30 days. So I will be working on my sals for all 30 days of September, even though I wanted to keep those 3 days spare for, you know, my regular projects. But you know, the world saw fit for me to start something new, and this arrived, even though yes, I had ordered it, so I did know it was coming. But you know, we'll just pretend it was the world sending it to me, and you know, the ethers, God, whatever. So that's the rules. And yes, so I'm going to start this one today. So it's I will put a little picture in of the first bit we've got, because it's 3 little fishies. They look really cute. So that is my job for today. And yeah, so I will get this one. Like, what is this? What is this? Right, I will quickly edit this video, pop in the names of the designers that I couldn't remember. So I'll go and find them, pop that in and upload this one. And then I'm going to be working on this SAL. So yes, so thank you very much. So if you want to, you know, catch up with me next time, hit the little bell button, hit the subscribe. If you liked the videos, you know, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. But please tell me what you didn't like and then I could always change it. So, oh yes, I nearly forgot. I knew if I didn't put it in shot I would forget. But if you've seen some of my first videos and my whip parade, you'll know I have hundreds of these Love You More Studio Co bags, book sleeves. Now, Michelle Bendy Stitchy first sort of promoted these, I suppose, as project bags. And I was like, that is a brilliant idea. I will order lots of them, put all my projects in them. So I do have, you know, many of my projects sort of in the bags, you know, as we go. So this one and this one. So that's most of them. But I saw this one in my stash of project bags, and I thought, yeah, this one definitely has to come out for Queen of the Deep SAL. So this is the project bag that I'm going to be keeping her in, because that's perfect. And I hope I'm not the only one that is hoping that this is going to be like a sexy version of Ursula, this SAL, because I think we know it's not a mermaid. I know they're very adamant that it's not a mermaid. So yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that that's what it's going to be. But we'll have to wait and see, because they're not letting us see anything and they're not giving us any clues. So we'll just have to wait. But yes, so there we go. Morning, my lovelies. So it is the 8th of October today, so it's Thursday. So a bit later than I hoped. I'm back. So finishing off my SALSeptember progress. Now, I did cop out, I have to confess, and I didn't do what I said I was going to do. But I'll show you why in a minute. So I worked on Hello Pumpkin, so I spun this one. So this is Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Now this was her autumn SAL from a year ago, maybe 2. I think it was a year ago. I think it was last year. I don't know, this year's been a bit special, hasn't it? So it might have been last year. And I started on the owl, so didn't do too bad. I don't really know if I like these colours though. These seem a bit odd, so I might have to just double check and make sure that these are the right colours that I'm using, because I don't think that's what the other people's have looked like. You know, and I thought, well, I'll carry on, hopefully it'll come together, and it's not. So I might have to double check that I'm using those right colours for that, because it does seem a bit, yeah, a bit strange. But we'll see. Maybe when you get more of the design in, it'll all come together a bit. I don't know. Wait and see. But then my kit for the Queen of the Deep, Dark Queen of the Sea SAL from Autumn Lane Stitchery came through, so I had to start that because that's the rules. So I started that, and I've actually done part of October's piece as well. So, and this was why I copped out on my other pieces, because I thought this is a current SAL and I'm going to try and keep up to date with this one. So I'm missing this colour here, so they didn't have any in the shop either, so I'm just having to wait for whatever colour that was. But yeah, so this is September and October's piece. I think September was just the 3 fishes. So yeah, and I am doing the skin 1/1, so if you can see that. Maybe if my camera ever decides to focus on anything course it doesn't. But yes, so just got a few threads parked up there. Oh, how's that for timing? Right, a few threads parked up there because obviously this is going to carry on a next piece of the pattern. So yeah, that's that one. So with the 1/1, I actually tapered in the sort of feathered it a bit more. So rather than doing just the 4 stitches in each square, I did sort of try and sort of, you know, sort of feather it a bit more. I don't know if you can see. I might have to put in a better photo for you. Yeah, I'll take a picture and put it in, just so it didn't look quite as blocky. So I've tried to do that, which wasn't too bad to do with this. It was a small section, but I'm thinking if I ever get a bigger section of the skin, I might have to print out the pattern and actually draw on it and the shape so that I know what I'm doing. But yeah, and I think it looks better there. It's not quite as boxy. It sort of sits in a bit better. So yes, that's what we've got so far on our Not a Mermaid. So yeah. And that's why I didn't do any of my other sales, because I had to do this one. And I figured, yeah, I wanted to keep up to date on at least something, you know, from this year. I figured it would be good to do. So that's the only 2 cross stitch projects I've worked on. I'm going to dig out my big piece again today, so the Haid, so the Amazing Animal Kingdom piece. But I've also got a couple of knitted things to show off, so if you wanted to see those. Now this is the, I finally got it blocked. I finished this one a little while ago, you know, a couple of weeks. But yeah, so this is Whiskey Glass Shawl. So it's sort of got bubbles and stripes and eyelets in as well. A bit like a whiskey tumbler. And then I put some tassels on as well. So this, I can't remember offhand which wool it is, I'll write that in here. But yeah, I wasn't overexcited about the wool. After I knitted it together, it didn't feel right, but once it had been washed and blocked, it was a lot better, a lot softer. So yeah, I think might have to keep that in mind next time. If I've got a wool that's a bit rough, I might have to sort of wash it and see what happens. But yeah, so that's that one. So this one took me probably on and off. It's taken me the best part of maybe 9 months to do. So the pattern's quite repetitive, and obviously you're working sort of up and down the diagonal, so the rows were very, very long, and very, very boring sometimes. So I kept doing a little bit and putting it down and then doing a little bit. But also then I worked on this one. I started this one last month, and apart from weaving in the ends, I have finished it. So it has been blocked as well, because you had to block it quite aggressively. It said aggressively block. So I assumed that meant tightly. I didn't think it meant do it in a bad mood, you know. I thought. So because I had to put it quite tight, I didn't want to weave in the ends and then them pull out. So this is this. Now this is using wool from Rosie's Knitting Shed on Etsy, and this is 3 balls. So this is 3 different colours that I can't remember the name of. Oh, I remember this is Wider Bee's Buzz was the yellow. The yellow is actually a bit brighter, a bit more sunshiny yellow than it's coming out here. It's sort of fading in a bit. And then these 2 was sort of, I think this was Fairy Woodland and Fairy something else. I'll put that in here. But yeah, so this was a pattern that I can't pronounce, so I'll write that in as well. Something to do with the seal skin. If you buy the pattern, there's a little story of where the name comes from. But yes, it was worked as a half moon. So you sort of started with the first colour, sort of there, and then you feathered in the second one, and then there's some garter stripes, and then these were done as short rows, so short row lace panels. so all the way along, and then you had the curvy bit, whatever you call it, waves, and then that was my first go at a picot edge, so didn't do too bad. I did mess up one of them, I noticed when I was blocking. That one there, I put two picots on the one hole, but I didn't notice I was blocking, and I was not going to unpick all of that because this took a ridiculous amount of time to put the edging on. So yeah, so that's that one done as well. So yeah, I don't know if I aggressively blocked it enough, you know, I'll have to wait and see. But that's that one, so I've just got the ends to weave in. So yeah, so like I said, I'm going to get out my Amazing Animal Kingdom to work on today, and probably for the next few days. I was hoping to start Lindy Stitch's Dracula piece, because I bought that one. I'll put a photo in here. I'm going to do the portrait one of it, just because I like the, I didn't want the alphabets and that on it. I quite like the neat little square that will go in an 8 by 10. That sounded quite nice. But my fabric's not arrived yet. I ordered some from Crafty Kitten Stitchy somewhere. But obviously there's a backlog with fabrics because of COVID, so I might have that in time for Halloween, might not. That might be my Halloween start, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's it. So I've tacked this onto the end of the video that I did like 2 weeks ago that I didn't upload then because my aim was that I was going to vlog, and then I didn't actually do anything to vlog, so I didn't do any videos. So, but yeah, I'll tack this 10 minutes onto the end of that one and hopefully get that one uploaded today, fingers crossed. So if you see it today, then I you know, did as I was told. But yes, that's all I've got to share with you. Oh, I need to repaint my nails as well. I managed to pull all my nail varnish off apart from my thumbs. Very attractive, I know. So I'm going to sit and pick that off today, and then I might get my nails painted. So yeah, so I hope you're having a lovely day. Hope the weather's nicer than what it is here. There you are. And yeah, and I will see you soon. So I love you lots. Be good, be nice.